what is happening or what is what is. That doesn't mean this kind of reality I can experience or can be experienced through my sense perception.
Yes, it does. Yes, it's sitting on the floor, sitting on the seat is what's happening.
So, could you say that what it all boils down is sense perception?
No, it isn't, because that's a perception. The senses obviously arise in this because they are the everything. The senses, the five senses, the sixth sense of feelings arise. The seventh, what I call the seventh sense of thinking, it's another sense then, arise. So all of those things simply arise. But like the walls and the sky and the sound of that car, they are what's happening. They have not one or the other has any significance. They just are all what is and isn't.
So there is no interpretation at all of anything.
Impossible.
Because that would give meaning.
There wouldn't be.
If I interpret something,
yeah,
then I give
meaning and purpose into its significance.
Okay, after your liberation.
It wasn't mine.
I'm talking in this separated world jargon. You were saying our ego is also expressing itself in taking on some roles, how we react.
In the separate reality,
yeah, in our conditioned patterns and so on. When there is oneness, in a way, there must be, I have to relate to the world in some things. So do I relate in the same way as before? That
no, you
I have
relate.
some preferences or no?
Oh, no, well, hold on, there's no one. There isn't anyone there, so there's nothing to relate to. There isn't anyone. All there is what happens. Life happens.
So if I like more chocolate than cucumber, for instance.
Eating more chocolate happens.
So there's no, so there's never any interpretation or putting it into the system.
No, there's not an interpretation or a judgment in that sense.
If somebody
there can be a judgment about whether to buy that house or that house.
Yeah.
But nobody makes that judgment. It is what happens. The problem for the individual is that they live in the most amazingly arrogant world where they think that they do everything and they run everything. And nothing could happen without them. It's so sweet. And they, the me that thinks that, is just an added bit of software which is completely and utterly useless.
Can you repeat that? I didn't I didn't hear.
Well, the me that thinks that nothing can happen without it, or that it makes all the choices and it's the managing director of its life, is a piece of added software which is utterly useless and meaningless. It's a game that nothing plays. Nothing is a nothing loves stories. Have you noticed? This is nothing telling an apparent story, which is meaningless and purposeless. And within that story arises a person who thinks they're really important and significant. It's pretty fun. But it's not much fun for the person who thinks they're really important and that they have a purpose in their lives and they feel bereft.
So we relate to things when people get killed in front of you.
Well, that's all that happens.
So, I mean, you don't do anything, you just look and say...
No. If you do something, that's also what happens. It's not that you sit there like a robot watching things happen. That would be another sort of metaphor. That would have another purpose, the purpose of not doing anything. The reality is that there is just what happens, and there can be a response out of this body to what happens, but it isn't anybody's response.